Oh, it's time. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Four from On the Forefronts, and today we are going to be introducing our players to Morphs in the Dark, which is a hack of Blades in the Dark. And all of it is to engage in some Animorphs tomfoolery. Let's go ahead and just quickly introduce ourselves. Give us your name, your Twitter handle, and local animals you might be able to morph. I am Four, and I can morph my two cats, Zoe and Ella, who you might see pop up on screen sometimes because they demand attention. And let's go over to Abigator.
Oh my goodness, hello. Okay, my name is Abby, also known as Abigator Frenzy on Twitter. I could turn in, let's see, I've got a dog named Lily. I have an abundance of fat squirrels and groundhogs and deer that drive me insane because they're always waiting on the side of the road, ready to run in front of my car, especially when it's dark.
Oh, that's rude.
Thanks.
Mortal enemies.
Josh from Wallstormer, give us exactly what I just said.
Hey, my name's Josh. I run a site called Intelligame. It's a game culture criticism site where we find intersections between games and the world around us, and also create community around games where people don't be assholes. That's kind of primary. Let's see. We don't have any pets at the house, but I apparently could morph into a cluster fly. This is a little different than a house fly, a little larger, a little slower, and they like to show up in the spring after they've spent the winter hibernating or something. They're really obnoxious.
I could have actually said gnats because my job as a horse groom, I have more contact with gnats than any other animal at this time of year.
That's no good.
Ants in my kitchen right now are a thing.
See, the world is your oyster. Simon, this is our first time interacting with one another in terms of playing games. So I'm very excited to meet you. Go ahead, introduce thyself.
Hello, my name is Simon, and you can find me on the Twitter at Lucha Libris. I'm a voice actor for the Penumbra podcast, on and off. And also I run a socially responsible LARP production company up in the greater Boston area called Enkindle Storytelling. You can learn more about our current project, a 1920s deco-punk game about running magic hooch that gives you superpowers in a time of prohibition at attawaylarp.com. Animals that are in the area. There's a lot of squirrels up in Boston. There's a whole lot of those, and I could probably get my hands on a really adorable Malshi, my sister's dog from down the street. I don't know how useful that would be in fighting the Yerks, but I would look cute as heck.
You know what? That's all I need.
The Yerks they'd be taken aback, like, look how cute this animal.
There's no way this could be an Andalite bandit. None whatsoever.
Too cute.
All right. Now let me do one last little thing, and then we shall begin. All right. Now that I have informed the Animorphs Reddit community, and I can be completely and utterly disrespectful by saying that David was the best Animorph. Okay, let's begin. So for those of us who are not acclimated to the Animorphs series, how many of the assemble? By the way, Drunkly Romantic could not make it today, but you can be certain I will morph him somehow. Somehow, Drunkly, I will morph you. How many of you have actually been able to make it through the entire Animorphs series, or what is your experience with Animorphs?
See, this is a tough question because it's almost what series are you talking? Because there's like the Animorph series, and I feel like there's a couple of offshoots as well.
Were there offshoots?
And not offshoots as much here. Because off the top of my head, I don't know. Come back to me. I've just read.
Was it the main? Now it's like the main series, not the Megamorphs series, right?
I'm trying to think, because wasn't there that, and then there was a whole like other series about like an Andalite.
Oh, the Andalite Chronicles, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a few books that veer off from the main series: the Andalite Chronicles, the Hork-Bajir Chronicles, and the oh gosh, I forget the Elminster Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, wait. It's something else Chronicles. It's, I don't know. Jeez.
I'll look it up. I'll inform you guys later.
Chronicles. The Ellimist Chronicles, yes. The Ellimist. And that's... Now, when I read the Animorphs books, I was probably still in elementary school. And I looked. These books were directed towards 12-year-olds. That's... 12 and up, I think. No, I think it was 9 to 12, I think. That was the grade. Yeah.
Middle grade is...
It was a little grade, so... Yeah. I was that kid that had the weird book with the boy on the cover that was turning into a hawk. I was real popular. What about, Josh? What do you have any, idea on what Animorphs is about?
Yeah, actually, so I read a lot of the Animorphs books when I was in elementary and middle school. One of my earliest memories, actually, because my memory is garbage, but one of the earliest memories I have is being at a Barnes & Noble where we were doing, like, popcorn reading. It must have been, like, 3rd or 4th grade or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
We were reading through an Animorphs book, and somebody walked up to me afterwards and was like, "You're really good at this. You should be an actor." And then I watched a James Bond film and was like, I want to be James Bond, and saw that James Bond was a white dude. And that was like my first concrete experience with institutionalized racism. Anyway, but yeah, so but
was Cassie the presence that you needed in this series?
Well, kind of, but also not as much, because I was looking for a black male character that I could relate to.
That's a good point.
But it was good to have Cassie there, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. There is one particular Megamorph book where there's a lot of time traveling, and it's
oh no,
oh my god, it's bad. It's bad. They go to the Civil War.
We can't all be winners, friends.
No,
they can't all be great.
It's a rough book. It's a rough time for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I love Animorphs as a franchise. Like I was super jazzed when they released the Nickelodeon cartoon, and I still respect sort of the concept. I have a lot of respect for what that franchise meant for me back in the day, and of
still
course
the
now
90s.
knowing that all the
people are still trying to find out how to talk about some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I like the book series as a whole. I'm really excited to actually go through them all since they're available on the web.
They're all. I should have an alert for those books, because that would I would love to help hook people up with this series. But yes, there's a website that you can actually go to read most of the Animorphs books. But while we get while I dream about that, Simon, give us your experience with Animorphs.
Yeah, I went to a elementary school where these books were kind of 50-50 among the popularity split. Some people kind of got into them, and some friends of mine and I got really into them. In fact, they actually got a little more into it than I was, but we would pretend to be the Animorphs on the playground, and my friend would be Rachel, and I was Marco, and just kind of mess around. And after that, I kind of drifted away from the series, but I did come back for the Dinosaurs book.
Oh!
That was sweet. And I really did enjoy going through the Andalite Chronicles. And I still have, I remember little bits and pieces. So when I was trying to go back and refresh my memory for the lore. I was like, oh yeah, this was sweet. And this series gets pretty heavy. I was actually impressed with the amount of emotional depth that Kay Applegate was able to throw in there. It's just like war allegory for kids. And some of the stuff that she said later on in her life after the series concluded, I was like, yeah, it wasn't just like cool animal transformations, like young adult superhero kind of fiction. Like there was something a little more to it.
If you
was what got me to stick around a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still say as a series, if you read that series when you're older, that series is terrifying. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's rough.
terrifying.
Anytime anybody morphs a bug in that book,
Oh God,
you need to turn the page.
yeah. Kay Applegate writes body horror for kids.
Sports. except for book, I think it was 13, where Cassie morphed something, and I quote. Oh my God! I quote: "My butt grew huge. I had a mega butt." And that is my favorite morph ever of ever describing that, because that made my young self just bust out laughing, like said butt in a book. Mega butt. And on that note, we will continue to preserve our integrity as a source of Animorph entertainment by let's give an idea on what our experience in role-playing is. I'm usually a GM, a game master, or a dungeon master, if that is your tabletop RPG lingo or your main focus. But I made most of my my energy into running Mouse Guard. But I branched off into Blades in the Dark, and once I touched Blades in the Dark, it absolutely jolted me into wanting to play this system within the confines of Animorphs, because I feel like they just gel so neatly together. What about the rest of you? Maybe what was your first impression on we're going to play Animorphs, but in a tabletop role-playing game setting? What were your initial thoughts about that?
What? that was literally it. I tend to get very enthusiastic, especially about, I feel like this series, there's a lot of serious kind of material that would do well in an RPG setting, in a tabletop role-playing setting. And I'm always down for being in a game for GMing, so.
Oh. Well, thanks. I guess this sort of leads into, we should make our characters.
Mayhap.
Yeah, so right now, if you go on your Roll20, you'll see I have copies of character sheets that you are free to claim as your own in whatever fashion. You can rename them. But here's the thing. We have to be careful. We have to make sure the Yerks don't find us. So your characters can only have a first name. And I unfortunately lost Simon's camera. Where did yours go? Maybe if
I'm here.
You're still... Oh! Oh! Oh, that's why. Zoom is telling me I need to... Running out of meeting time? This meeting now has unlimited minutes. Thanks! Zoom. Okay, there. I think everything's fine now. Oh my goodness.
I live.
You live! Okay. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine now. So, yeah, you guys can just claim one of the character sheets. Think about a first name that you can give your character, and we'll go ahead and jump into playbooks. So, Blades in the Dark, the way it operates is we, as players, choose essentially like a little pamphlet of abilities that lets us do various things, and as we play, we'll make those abilities stronger. So as we go into this, Does everybody have the playbooks? I know I posted a link for all the downloads in our Twitter DM, but a lot of them have like certain roles. Like obviously, like the Battleborn, like that's Rachel. A lot of these are based off of some of the characters in the main series.
Yeah, I saw those, and I know that this system is a mod on Blades in the Dark, but I've never played Blades in the Dark before. I know you had asked about tabletop experience. I've done a few campaigns now as a player, but I'm still getting familiar with some of the different systems, and so I don't know if this is something we're going to go over later, or if it might be helpful now when we're doing character creation to sort of do the like what is Blades in the Dark and how how does this world work. Because I feel like some of the ways that I might create my character or my stats, it'll be helpful to know what they do or how they do it.
That's a valid point. And this is like my first like creative project outside of like just running various stuff. So make sure to call on me if you need understanding on a few things. So Blades in the Dark was a steampunk post-apocalypse sort of a Victorian game, and it only uses d6s, so it uses a dice pool like Tales from the Loop or Mouse Guard might, and essentially every time you want to do something, you roll the number of dots that are on your character's action. So when you see on your character sheet, you see like hunt, survey, finesse, command, consort. Those are actions that you can take as a character. And there's a point in the Morphs in the Dark main rules where I sort of lay out what each of these actions do. And above that, these actions are sort of like compiled into attributes. So prowess includes finesse, prowl, skirmish, wreck. Resolve is attune, command, consort, and sway. These are like verbs that your character can engage in. And we'll be assigning dots to these depending on which playbook you have, because certain playbooks have certain, as I said, roles or preferences. So if I was playing the Outsider, I would have 2 in Prowl. That's 2 dots in Prowl. So I would essentially be really good at skulking about and trying to stay out of sight. And if I, the game master, decide you need to make a roll to really get what you want out of the scene, because it sounds like there would be a challenge in that, you would go ahead and just click the Prowl. And if you hover your mouse over these attributes, they'll let you know what they're all about.
Oh, they do. They give you a little description of what you can use them for.
It's really nice. Now, you're going to see 2 things, position and effect. This is one thing about Blades in the Dark that I really appreciate. Alright, so I went ahead and made a roll with character copy. And they're doing a prowl. Now you see my results of the dice. I got a 5 and a 3. But my position and my effect are set to different things. So when I want to do something, the GM has to tell me what the position is and what the effect will be. So if I'm trying to like sneak about with prowl, my position at the moment might be desperate, risky, or standard. And the effect, which is how easily I will be able to get away or get through this attempt at not getting caught, might be standard, limited, or what is that other one? I forget that one.
Controlled?
Control. Yeah, controlled. So position and effect really work in tandem, where I, as the GM, can sort of give you an idea on how risky something is, or how what you will get out of it, because you can say, I'm going to beat up these 20 controllers with my bear morph, but if I arm them with Dracon beams, I'm going to make the effect much smaller. Like, the effect might be limited instead of standard. Or the position might be desperate because you're surrounded and none of your friends are nearby. So I may make the position more desperate. Various character abilities and opportunities can be used to increase the position or the effect of a roll. But generally what you want at least standard of both if you want like to really make an impact. But if you happen to succeed, you're able to basically do what you need in that scene. If you fail, I can do a variety of things. I can make the situation more complicated. I can grant you harms on your character sheet. I can start a progress clock. And that's another thing I love about Blades in the Dark. Progress clocks are time that you need to sort of be aware of. Let me see. Yeah, clocks are at the bottom, right above your notes. Let me just go ahead and start a clock. It's going to be a 6. So, behold, this is a clock. When this fills up, something will happen. And I can name the clock anything I want. I'm going to name it Morph Time. As in, time that you currently have left in your morph. This is a rule of Morphs in the Dark. Everybody has a 6-tick progress clock. So, as a result of a failed roll, I might increase your morph time that you have on your clock. And if the clock ever gets full, then I will follow the universe of Animorphs and decide that you're going to be stuck in this morph, and your playbook changes to Nothlet. And a Nothlet, if you remember, was Tobias in the main series. It is permanently stuck in the morph that you were in. Now, I'm going to, like, not all... because I'm going to, like, at least gamify certain things about Animorphs. So yeah, each of those attributes that you can use, they can impact you in various ways, but you should, as long as I think I explained the position and effect, the dice rolls, and all that. Oh yeah, if you get 2 6s out of your roll, that's a critical. And that means tremendous success. Alright, is there anything else about that? Because as we go forward, there's a lot of Blades in the Dark stuff that I might have to touch on, but otherwise, if you have any questions about like some of the more in-depth stuff, like heat and phases, healing, morphine, that sort of stuff, I am more than willing to answer.
I was about to say, it seems like a lot of this stuff, at least when I've played Blades in the Dark before, a lot of this stuff you just kind of learn as you do it.
Oh, I forgot one other thing. This is the other piece of lifeblood of Blades in the Dark, and that is stress.
Oh, yeah.
Being an Animorph is stressful. Here's the thing. There's not a lot of dots on this character sheet. And if you want to build your character like really effectively so that they have different like dots in a lot of things, it's you're gonna be rolling like 1d6 every now and then. That's stressful. You can make that better in your game by spending stress. You can see on your character sheet right above harm there is stress and trauma. If you want, you can pay 2 stress to add a +1 to your roll. So you get to add another dice. You can also roll resistance to avoid a bad outcome. So if you fail a roll and I say, well, this bad thing will happen now, you're going to get caught. Your character can say, I'm going to resist the consequences, and I'm going to roll voila. And the result is subtracted from 6 stress, and your character now pays that amount. So those are the 2 ways that stress can sort of be inflicted upon your character by your choice. I will never inflict stress upon you as the GM. That is something that you as a player have to decide whether this is a worthy cause or not. If your stress fills all the way up, you will contract a trauma, and traumas are they're difficult. They are unfortunately like pieces of your character that have changed in an irreparable way. Your character has endured heavy trauma, so now they might be cold, or they might be unstable. They might be obsessed with a particular enemy because of their stress. They could be paranoid, and that's something that I think will be likely in Animorphs. You don't know who's a Yeerk. You'll start questioning whether your family is or not, if it's safe to even be at home, or you might be becoming more vicious in the fights. And that's something that you have to be aware of when you play your character if you do contract a trauma. Traumas cannot be removed, and if your character gets 4 traumas, they will be removed from play and will find some place as an NPC, or you could become a Nothlet. You could always become a Nothlet. You can always be stuck in Morph. Yes. So, that's troubling. All this stress, what do I do about that? So, when you start to accumulate stress, and you realize, I have a lot of stress and I don't want a trauma, if you finish a mission, which is basically the way Blades in the Dark is played, is first, we start free play. We start like freestyling. We set up scenes, we set up role-playing and a little bit of dice rolling until we figure out, guys, there's something happening with the Yeerks, and we have to attend to it. That means you go on a score. In Blades in the Dark, these were like literally heists. You would go to assassinate someone, or you would go into a vault and you would unearth some sort of cultish relic and you would get money for it. Unfortunately, as teenagers, you will have an allowance. So really, the scores are not so much scores as they are save humanity. So after the score, whether or not you accomplish your goal in the mission or not is really it's really up in the air. But if you after the score, you're gonna have a lot of stress. You can indulge your virtue. Now it says vice. It says vice on your character sheet, but trust me, these are virtues that you can pick up and indulge in order to reduce stress. Everybody gets 2 downtime actions, because after a score, there's a new phase called downtime. And downtime is basically, we're going to recover from what happened during the score, and we're also going to look for other things that we need to be attending to. We need to gather information on the Yeerks. We need to hunt for new morphs that will be useful in our future endeavors. And that sort of stuff. Can you guys... Oh, yeah. I went ahead and posted a bunch of virtues. And they're just basically like, downtime actions are little flavor scenes. Sort of like with Mouse Guard, there's a GM's turn and then there's a player's turn. And the player's turn is all about like, what do you want to happen in the story with your character that isn't like too prevalent to distract us at the moment. Or it could be, I want to set up the next phase of play for the next score, and I want to find out where we can hit the Yeerks next. And yeah, that's a big dump on Blades in the Dark as I can give it to you right now.
It's fine. We're just 12-year-olds who are in charge of saving the world and dealing with aliens. It's all good.
Conscripted in an intergalactic war against our will.
Yes, with the Escafil device. That's something we should actually bring up. We kind of do have to decide how you guys get into this this swing of turning into animals and rescuing the human race. It's now in the original Animorphs. These 6 friends all took a shortcut on their way home from school, and an alien ship crashed in a remote, abandoned construction site. Sure, bro. And Elfangor, a warrior prince from the Great Andalite home planet, I guess. The Great Andalite people, the aliens, He bestowed upon them the Elfangor device, the Esquivel device. Jeez!
There you go.
The Esquivel device, which is a blue cube that all the humans were like, oh, touch it and we morph. And then he died because it was a fatal crash, and the Yeerks were on his tail. Because, unbeknownst to humans, there's a great war between the Andalites and the Yeerks, and Elfangor understood that there's really no one else that can do this but them. Because no one expects teens, because teens are always up to no good.
Or the Spanish Inquisition.
I literally just heard that joke the other day from somewhere else, and it makes me so happy.
What are we, in Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Are they playing that nonstop now?
Right?
Just Monty Python constantly.
But that's sort of what we'll eventually decide is how did we all gather together and figure out how we got this power, because yeah, we could engage in we could go through a scene of an alien ship crashes, an Andalite comes out and says, you are the heroes of planet Earth. Touch this cube. It glows and will give you the power to morph. Or it could be some other scenario. It could be a Hork-Bajir escapes. It's able to get out of the control of its Yeerk and is able to deliver you guys the great weapon of the Andalites and tells you to keep it safe. And maybe like some of your first few missions are about trying to find this Hork-Bajir after it escapes. And you might need to like go take scores to make sure he or she doesn't get caught, and sort of try to gather more information about what is happening. It's or there could be a dead taxon somewhere, and what do you know? It ate the Esquivel device. Now you have it. Because when taxons fall from high places, they tend to. By the way, taxons are big, blubbery centipedes, and the words that K.A. Applegate uses to describe them as like these bloated like sacks of like mush is just like, Applegate, why do you do this? It's just like, yeah. And I would be like, oh, they ate the Esquivel device, and you guys found one, and you're like, oh, what's this? And you touch the Esquivel device, and it's like, oh, they're Yeerks. You get info dumped by downloading all the information. There's a lot of ways we can use this scenario to begin. Oh my god, I forgot one last thing. In Blades in the Dark, there is one more mechanic that uses stress. Flashbacks. If you get into the score and it turns out you got a bad roll, and you don't like the consequences, or you don't like the current setup, you can pay 2 stress and flash back to a scene where you said, no, I was prepared for this. In fact, I saw this coming. This is how I prepared for it and how we fix this problem. And that starts its own little scene and its own little resolution roll. Those are I actually was thinking this could be the main use of flashbacks, is sort of not establishing how you guys found the Esquivel device and just basically using flashbacks to prepare yourself for like the certain security system that the Yeerks have installed to stop you from entering their secret Kandrona generator room or stuff like that. But yeah, that's it. There's a lot of potential in the game, and I've not touched it yet because I sort of want to see what players can bring to the table in terms of control over where this setting and story go.
Woo.
But yeah, what are you guys thinking right now?
When are we?
Probably 1998.
Okay.
Good question.
Because cell phones are not so, prevalent in terms of like kids can play Fortnite on their cell phones. We don't have that yet. I don't know
Sorry,
that.
I can't save the world because my battle pass expires in 2 weeks, and if I don't get to level 45, I won't get this special skin.
I just gotta
And
grind
everybody
that.
at school's gonna make fun of me. So
When did World of Warcraft
Get
come
the
out?
special skin yet?
yeah, yep, scrub life.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was too busy
Like
saving the
2000.
world, so
No, there's actually. Oh my God, there is actually. If you pick fun as your virtue, playing the latest JRPG online role-playing games. Yeah, no, you could do that for your virtue and reduce stress.
Like
that
all
way.
muds.
Yeah, the old muds.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
throwback.
We could just do that. We could just ignore the Yerk problem and just have our characters play. You know,
We're just working on our virtues, friends. Like,
let's go on Newgrounds.
Ultima Online.
right?
Oh my gosh. Stop. I want to play these now. RuneScape.
Yeah.
Go back to RuneScape. Classic.
Ultima
Okay.
Online was the thing.
Yeah,
You play D&D as your virtue? I'm all for it. We could go even deeper.
Before it was cool.
Yeah.
What if the Stranger Things kids are Animorphs?
Whoa.
Dun, dun, dun. That would totally make
That's-
sense.
Get out of Netflix.
Will Byers.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for more stuff. I'm gonna. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to get coffee. This will take 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we coming up with our backstory in the?
I need
Oh,
more
wait.
coffee. If you couldn't tell.
So I know that
Blah, blah, blah,
we're
blah.
all supposed to be at least in the same town.
Mhm.
And I don't know, are we all going to be, I'm guessing we're going to play as the age of the kids in the book.
Are you sure more coffee was the correct answer for?
Zoe, was it the right answer? Did I do good?
Zoe's not going to...
Zoe, don't give me that look. Don't give me the cold shutdown stare. Zoe! She comes. What? Talk to us. Who are you really? Are you a secret animorph in disguise?
It's Visser 26.
Oh no!
No.
No! I'm just screaming in her face. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Well, she's in my lap now. She's never gonna leave.
Are we playing teens in this? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
That is primary inspiration. Teenagers.
Great. Hormones. Puberty. It's all
Yeah, I
good.
was gonna say.
Love it.
Nope, not gonna derail again. So we are trying to figure out how we got powers or how we know each other.
Not yet.
Or...
We're kind of trying to. I'm gonna try to segue you guys into picking a playbook that you think would be great for your character to start. There are several. I'm going to assume none of you want to play one of the alien characters that are available in the playbooks.
So that would be pretty cool.
Love
Yeah.
to be an Andalite, but I don't remember nearly enough of the lore to make that feel like a good story.
I don't know. It might be a good challenge, honestly. One of the things could be that you actually are, the one that brought the Esquivel device
Oh, true.
to these teens, and then we could go from there if you want. I'm totally up. If you want to be the titular
Interesting idea.
alien of the people, and then here's the thing: then you have a power that none of the other players have. You can comment on Earth stuff without any fear of what's the word? Any fear of embarrassment.
Oh my gosh, I could be a taxon. I could be a carnivorous worm.
Yep.
This giant slug monster. Big mood.
Yeah, I'm also kind of really into the idea of having an entire alien cast when this game is more well developed because there are a lot of like different special abilities that I might want to switch up, because some of these things might be a little OP, but other ones might be good. There is one thing. Oh yeah, like there's stuff for some of these playbooks, like the Estrine. The Estrine is all about morphing. And they have special abilities. Oh, by the way, a tune. A tune is the action used to morph and stay in control of your morph. So if you ever like morph an ant, or like something that's obviously going to have some problems, you would roll your attune in order to stay in control of your morph. And the Estrine is all about that. And like, not only that, but like there are special abilities that like let you do even bigger things. Like like one of the special abilities is just actually knowing where to get a morph. Other ones are like you can. The other one is there's a special ability called Loaded Morph, where you can like morph a small object with you into Z space. You could push yourself to morph. Oh yeah, and when these say push yourself, they mean burn 2 stress. Whenever they say that, yeah. Oh yeah, there's one special ability for the Estrine that lets them increase their morph clock to 8 ticks instead of just 6. And then like with the Joker is all about like preserving stress, I think. Setting up your allies, sort of trying to keep everyone in good spirit, I guess. I don't want to say cheer. Also, special armor is something that you can get as well. Special armor essentially is like, I will expend my special armor in order to do a thing without pain stress. So if you see that, that's what that means. There's a lot of like terminology here that I want to make sure you aren't overwhelmed with, even though you might be.
But you have to have the ability that gives you a use for your special armor first, right?
Indeed. You only get one to choose from, and you also get the dots that are on the character sheet, on the character playbook.
So you get the free.
Yeah, those are
one and one to the other. Yeah,
indeed. You also, once you have your playbook, you can give. Let's see, how many? I think it's 4 dots. Yeah, you get 4 action dots to add to your character sheet, as well as the ones on your playbook.
Okay. Does anybody have an idea of what what playbook you want to use?
Because really, you can look to the original books. Were you someone who really liked Jake? No one liked Jake. Were you really someone who were like really pumped about?
That's the problem. I'm the person who's like, yeah, I like Leonardo. Yeah, I like Jason. Yeah, I like Jake.
Cyclops.
Like, Cyclops. It was like, Cyclops is such a loser. I was like, no, he's the leader. How would anything get done without Cyclops? They're like, well, just not bring him, and then everybody's happier. But yeah, no, that was totally me.
Dang.
100% me.
Man.
Still is.
Yeah, like if you want, you could take like though you could sort of find the playbook that really like represents the character from the books. That's what you could even just be a Nothlet. You could start the game as a Nothlet if you want. And just not worry about staying in morph and the morph clock. Because you don't have one when you're a Nothlet. There's so many benefits, guys.
Tobias, you deserve better.
Tobias. Yeah, the Outsider was actually pretty difficult because there's only like so much I can work on with. So the Outsider is basically like, what can I do when I'm by myself or in downtime? That's sort of what I wanted to go for with the Outsider. While like Battleborn is obviously like Rachel, she wants to fight, she wants to tear things apart. The Joker is all about sort of like ensuring that the plans go down and that everybody is sort of like really, really tightly knit. Best of Buds is a special ability for the Joker, and if you share a virtue with someone, with another player, whenever you guys take a downtime action, you only need to spend 1 downtime action. You do have to hang out together, though.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of like little like cute teen stuff, because that's Animorphs. Animorphs is like this cute teenage drama mixed with this horrific sci-fi. Blatantly, Marco, I know.
I feel like we're kind of building a team comp right now. Like, I feel like I'm drafting characters in Overwatch.
Tank, right?
Right.
By the way, after this, we're choosing a crew, because in Blades in the Dark, there are, you choose a character playbook for yourself, and then everybody chooses a crew.
Okay.
We're not going to look at crews just yet, because crews in Morphs in the Dark is all about how you are going to defeat the Yeerks, if at all. So right now, we'll just focus on playbooks, but just keep in mind that, yeah, there's a lot of, like, teen comps, I guess you could roll with. But if you want to be the same playbook, like, by all means, that's totally available to you folks. Dark Dragons.
Do you have folks that you're interested in? People or playbooks you're gravitating towards?
I'm not. I think the Outsider would be interesting.
The Outsider has some really fun special abilities.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the unpredictability of that kind of character who's just like, I could do anything. What?
Aliens!
When you hear watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
The wild card.
The wild card!
I'm like thinking about the Battleborn.
Ooh.
That's a really interesting, because that's Rachel, right?
Yeah.
And she's really an interesting character, that she was like always willing to get her hands dirty, but also wasn't. She was sort of protective at the same time. The Joker is kind of cool, and I'm debating between that and the. I am thinking about the Andalite now. Now that you got me thinking about it.
Man, the Andalite has a lot of interesting stuff. I still want to work with their playbook a bit, but because they have the Tailblade, they have the Thought Speak, and there's also a lot of cool sci-fi special abilities there too. That, and I want you to roleplay what it's like to have a mouth for the first time. And then one of these
to not be on your feet.
And then I want one of these humans to give you a warhead.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I almost think the Joker would be too much like myself if I was actually in that situation, because there's no way to deal with that kind of stress unless of course, there's an alien invasion. Like, this is fine. Whatever.
There's a special ability called Well Adjusted. It literally is. You are strangely okay with the threat of an alien invasion taking place on the same day as the prom. And during downtime, your character gets +1 to reducing stress, and you cannot overindulge. There's oh my god, I forgot this. So if you use a downtime action to reduce stress, and you decrease more stress than you currently have, then you overindulge and bad things happen. You might get entangled in something, or you might indulge too much in you don't eat for 3 days because you're playing World of Warcraft because you're utterly traumatized by the Yeerk battle that you're just diving into the computer and whatnot. Yeah. So but if you're the Joker and you take Well Adjusted, that will never happen. So, special abilities are sort of ways you can break the game, ways that you can sort of cheat the system. And tell me, no, that I have a better chance of success, actually.
Well, I'm between either the Joker or the Prince because everybody wanted to shit on Jake. And,
I'm gonna prove him wrong.
it's like- but then I look at his abilities and I'm like, oh, they're not as exciting because I feel like they're super strong squad buffs. Like the Prince feels like the support character.
He does.
But yeah, just not as funny as the Joker.
I like Pretty Please Fingers Crossed, where you can roll any resolve action with your family, authority figures, or colleagues, and you gain +1 to your roll. Like
It's nice to suck up.
Exactly.
Teacher's pet.
Yeah.
That's one I took great pleasure in writing. But yeah, I did struggle with the Prince for a while because Jake sometimes does feel like he's the one keeping everybody like settled and dedicated, while really feeling the hurt himself in most of the books. Because Jake goes through so much in Animorphs that I didn't really realize until later when I revisited the books that he really had it rough.
Jake's a mercy man. I don't even like Overwatch. I'm making all these Overwatch references.
Can we just like, can we just in like 30 minutes just switch this to an Overwatch stream? Just
Alright.
start a multi-stream.
God. Okay. So what are you folks thinking? I could do pretty much whatever.
I think I'm gonna roll Battleborn for fun. That's
Okay.
calling to me.
Sweet.
Also, remember, we also have Drunkly, who I honestly don't know.
Yeah, Paladin Hulk in chat was really sold on Drunkly being the alien, and honestly, I've played with Drunkly. Oh my god, he would kill being an Andalite or a Hork-Bajir. He would because man, cinnamon buns. That's all I'll say. Cinnamon buns. But
Your
yeah.
human customs are frightening and confusing.
This music does wonders to my human ears.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Outsider.
You going with Outsider? All right.
I'm doing it.
Very well. You're
Alright.
still thinking about Prince, Josh?
You know,
Prince Josh.
I feel like I usually roll characters that fall into the sort of Prince dynamic. I'm gonna try the Joker this time.
Alright.
Love.
I'm so
that.
excited to like watch you role play that because that sounds like so much fun.
I feel if you think you would be good at it, maybe you should. I think you're just gonna be like, is there a class called the Dad Joker? Because I feel like that's gonna show up.
Well, now I need a special
I would
ability
say-
called dad jokes.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's like this is the adult Animorphs mod where we all have to get jobs.
Oh my god.
You've turned 30. Your ability to tell real jokes is gone. Like-
You can roll in like Carlos in the Magic School Bus. Except you can turn into a bear.
right.
They did have an Animorphs book where they went inside someone.
Oh god.
The thing that happened.
Yeah, that happened.
We shouldn't do that. Let's
No.
not do that.
Yeah, Rachel morphed an elephant in someone's stomach.
Again, the Body Horde, this series
Yeah.
is absolutely terrifying.
I feel like I'm gonna go back to this book and be like, why did my parents let me read this?
There's kicking around for a while. There was a picture of the I don't know if it's official art, but it's the characters like transforming into the animals and like ripping things apart, and then in a giant bloody font it says "for kids."
Yeah. I love that.
Alright.
It just shows though kids are super resilient. They adjust to all sorts of situations. Which
And
is
like if you look at the covers, it's like, oh, darling, our child will learn about animals from this. We don't have to buy them. Zoo books anymore.
well, I mean that was what was so shocking about the TV show, right? Was I distinctly remember watching the first episode of the TV show when it came out on Nickelodeon, and like it was super dark and foreboding and like creepy, and I was like, where the hell did all this come from? And I think about it and I'm like, oh, it came from the books that they're based off of. Like, it's just the books are brightly colored on the cover and the TV show looks like a Christopher Nolan film. So.
Starfish Rachel is probably one of my favorite covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should put Drunkly's face on that.
Just
Yeah. By the way, you have 4 action dots to put wherever you want, but no action can be past 2. That is Blades in the Dark rule.
so if we get 2 bonus points in one stat and we can't go beyond that. Cool.
Correct.
So I get Wreck and Hunt as the Battleborn.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna pick up Skirmish.
Skirmish is good.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about Command.
You said we have 4 dots to put where we want?
Yep. That is true.
It probably makes sense for us to take at least 1 dot in a tune, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're always going to be rolling.
Yeah, when you don't have dots in something, the game rolls 2 dice for you and you take the lowest.
Yeah.
That seems inconvenient.
Yeah.
I've seen critical 0 dice before. It's Roll20 looks amazing with Blades in the Dark, and the dice rolls are tremendous sometimes.
That's a time when you want to spend some stress for at least 1 dot.
Eat that stress. Eat the stress.
Oh, big mood.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
A big cinnamon bun of stress, just... What special ability are you? There's Stress Eater. Stress Eater is a Battleborn
That is a thing. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these look really
Metal Gear Solid 6.
Oh.
Metal Gear Stress Eater.
Oh yeah.
Colonel, it's too much. I need to engage in some self-care.
I'm taking a self-care day. I really think a nap would help.
Are you meditating, Snake? Snake! But then there's no death music because it's a Zen room and you're not supposed to. You gotta be quiet. I'm sorry. Snake.
It's a lo-fi remix of the game over music.
So on the character sheet, is there any way we can make up our own playbooks, or is there
Yes. At the very top, you'll see name the playbook, and it wants you to play Blades in the Dark. So
Yeah.
it'll say like, oh, put this here, but just put the name of your playbook in there.
Okay.
Okay, and then do we change things like where it says like a blade or 2, that kind of stuff? Like, what do we?
Oh,
we-
yeah, we're ignoring
we don't
that
get equipment.
We're ignoring load items, planning, chemicals, special abilities. You can make a new one by pressing that plus button, like so.
And how many special abilities do we take?
Only one.
Do we gain more later?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you mark XP, which is right below special abilities, you can, I think you can spend that to get a new special ability.
And what's a risky position?
Risky. Risky is... Let me actually find the immediate, like...
Or I guess, yeah, like how... Is it frequently that I'd be in a risky position?
Basically, standard effect and risky position are like that is the default.
Okay.
So risky is like you're acting under duress. You are in a challenging situation. There is a chance that you will succeed, but also a chance that you will fail. That great description for.
Role-playing games.
Yes. And with standard effect, it's like I will set out to do the thing that is in front of me. I will figure out what to do after that. Where, like, with great effect, you achieve more than your intent. So basically, with every roll, you want to have an intent of what you need out of it in the scene. And then, based on that, I'll set the position and effects.
Okay.
And every time you roll desperate in a desperate position, you get XP.
Attempt
Just
the
enjoy.
impossible.
Yeah.
And every playbook has a special mark of thing, like the prince. They get XP whenever they tackle a challenge to keep the group united and active against the enemy. The Estrine has an XP where tackling a challenge with clever morphing rewards them with XP. And that's at the bottom of the character sheet. Like, you know, struggling with issues of virtue and trauma, or playing according to your character's beliefs, background, or heritage.
I think I'm going to take They're Everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh, yes! My favorite.
What does that give you?
So, paranoia is no laughing matter. The Yerks are infesting your neighbors, your friends, and everyone else in town. You're incredibly adept at determining if someone is a controller or not by gauging their fake laughter or other uncanny twitches or lack thereof in their expression.
Ooh.
Yes.
Just know when somebody's infested.
When there's something
Yes.
wrong.
Yo, you're on bullshit. What?
Yes.
What rating is this stream? Is this the?
Oh, go all out!
Oh, I guess they're teenagers though. They're on messed up stuff. They're.
If you're a teenager, you're gonna wear a lot
Actually, yeah,
more.
I feel
Right,
like
I-
teenagers
I
have
guess
more
that's not
crass
the
language
Joker.
than ever. Yeah.
They're on fucked up bullshit. Shit, man. Fuck.
Yeah, I think the special ability I'm going to take as the outsider is probably going to be Eyes on the Controller. So the Yerks will catch you eventually, but first they have to catch you. So whenever an entanglement roll is about to happen, I can choose to roll twice and take the better roll, or choose to extradite myself from the consequences of the entanglement.
So that means
Slippery.
when you are reducing stress, you can basically avoid the worst consequences of indulgence. So, like, I could say, like, as a consequence of indulging your virtue, your family notices that you're not doing so well, and particularly your like sibling, who is a part of the sharing and is definitely a controller, notices, and he's curious and wants to know what's wrong with you. But you can just say, "No, I'm fine."
Everything's
fine.
This is okay. Everything's okay.
Oof.
Alright, so we got that.
I really want to take laughing while dying, but it's not that useful right now.
What is that
Because
one?
I don't have any traumas.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
really
one.
crazy. I love that.
You can never. This So if you ever suffer a level 3 harm, you're taken out of the conflict, which is basically your character can no longer, like, act. They can no longer, like, roll with skirmish or any of the prowess abilities.
I think...
And laughing while dying lets you just ignore that.
Yeah. That is spicy. I think I'm going to go with one Animorph army.
Oh.
So I can... when I push myself, I can take on several opponents at once and still come out ahead.
Nice.
Love that. That's tremendous. Well done. All right. And just, put that information and your starting action dots into your actions. And how are you spreading out your the rest of your points? It will be useful to put at least 1 point into a tune. That is very important.
I, for one, as the Battleborn, get 1 point in Hunt and 2 points in Wreck. So I'm decent with ranged attacks and can kind of find people or track them down a little bit. I put a point into Attune, a point into Command, and 2 into Skirmish.
Oh, yes. Skirmish is going to be your favorite.
Yeah.
You're going to be a wrecking ball.
Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs. It's going to be so fun. Okay, that's great. Abby, what about your outsider?
So just regularly, because I'm an outsider, I've got 2 in Prowl and 1 in Skirmish.
Okay.
Then I took 1 Consort. I took 1 Attune, 1 Survey, and I'm trying to figure out what the other, because I have 1 more dot I can put somewhere.
Ooh.
I might just do Attune. 2 in Attune.
2 in a tune? I mean, hey, you could play that tune. I really need a dad playbook.
No, I'm going to put 1 more in Insight, so that way I have at least 2.
Like, now that we're talking about, like, dad playbooks, like let's just have an entire family that does nothing but,
oh my God,
like, deal with the Yerks. Like, that, like, you're at a family outing, you're camping, and then, oh, Andalite, take the device, oh. Well, Dad, looks like we have to save the world.
Arnold
my God.
Schwarzenegger.
No, the family that slays together stays together.
Damn.
Oh man.
Damn. Well, Josh, what do you think you're gonna get next?
Well, I start with 2 in Survey and 1 in Sway. And I am going to put 1 in Finesse, 1 in Prowl, 1 in Attune, and 1 in Consort. So I figure I'm the communicator of the crew. I might be a little... I have some not great jokes. I'm not going to be the best fighter, probably. But if we need to sneak in somewhere... Does anybody else have Prowl?
I thought about taking it, honestly. I don't know if I really need 2 dots in Skirmish, but it seems useful to be able to sneak around a little bit.
I mean, if nobody...
Abby, you have 2 in Prowl, I think.
I've naturally got 2 in Prowl because I'm an outsider.
That's right.
Then maybe I won't be the Prowler. Maybe I'll be... Maybe I should put 1 in Skirmish so that I don't just get punched all the time.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't want to get
I do have
punched.
1 in Hunt, which is kind of related to Prowl.
Yeah. Hunt is...
It's like
feel
tracking
like-
as opposed to
yeah.
sneaking, right?
Yeah, and I feel like with Hunt, with certain morphs, you'll be able to use Hunt as well for
True.
certain roles, because we have not even gotten to the morphs yet.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to be amazing, because there are different types of morphs that are available to you. Now, when you start the game, everybody gets 1 personality morph immediately that was basically your test morph. Like, you went out and you captured this the DNA of this creature because you identify with it, or you basically wanted to like learn how this morphing stuff worked. So there are a number of morphs that are available to you that sort of like consist of like certain actions that they're good at, or certain roles that they will fill in your battle against the Yeerks. So there are battle morphs, which are obviously stuff like tigers or bears. They are there to beat things up, and from there I separated them from wild morphs. Wild morphs I feel like are more like wolves and deer. Some animals might fit two, because a wolf could be your battle morph. So some of them might have more than one attribute in like, what sort of morph they are. Then you have flyer morphs, which are like, seagulls, hawks. A hawk could be a battle morph as well, but primarily flyer morph. I'd love to see someone get a shark as their aquatic morph, and then also have it be your battle morph, but you're on a mission with no water, so literally it's just a great white shark in the middle of a room just trying to, flop around. I don't know.
Just jump at something and then mid-air turn into the shark and just suplex them as the shark.
The Estrine has an ability that is like that. It's amazing. Yes. You could have a small morph, which would be mice, snakes, and other creatures that are like nice, small, and compact. You could also get a urban morph to sort of like blend in more readily. And then there's Ugly Bug Morph. Ugly Bug Morph is an absolute nightmare show. It offers immense opportunities, like you can destroy the narrative with the Bug Morph. I will let you do so much stuff, but the attune roll is devastating if you happen to fail. So that's a big warning. So everyone receives one morph of their like signature type. And this morph doesn't take up a slot. Each of you can only hold 6 morphs. So that is, if you have more than 6, you have to burp one of them up. That's the terminology in Animorphs. Yeah, they burp morphs. Not like it's like shedding. It's like shedding like a second skin when it happens. I don't know how much in-universe stuff you might know about it, but yeah, I like some of Paladin Hulk's suggestions. Those are great. And yeah, Cassie's or Rachel's cat. I mean, essentially the reason we have these like morph types is to sort of like give you the means of keeping track of your morphs, as well as to sort of like tackle down like what they can do in the narrative sense as we go through the scores and whatnot. But yeah, who's feeling fuzzy? Does anybody have a particular, like, I imagine, like, because Battleborn, you obviously might want a battle morph, or that could be like the first mission. Like, we have to get Simon like a big beefy like monster morph. That
Isn't
could be
the
the first
plot of one of the book, like the second book. They raid a zoo.
Yeah, that's the first book. That's the first book. They raid the zoo and like get as many morphs as they can.
That's so metal.
That could be your score. That could literally be a
That's true.
session.
Just morph up, right? Just stack up on all 6 morphs at once, and then wreck face.
Exactly.
Wolf is cool.
Wolf is cool.
Also, Big Dog.
Oh yeah, that.
I don't see Big Dog as like necessarily a battle morph, but
I mean, not in a big group. Like, I think you might have one-on-one, definitely. But I definitely do think like it could work in certain situations with skirmish. Like, if you just want to sort of like disrupt the battle and run away.
Yeah. Although I did see Gorilla, and oh man, that
Gorillas will mess you up, yo.
yeeting in as a like giant silverback. is calling to me in a way that I can't quite explain.
I mean, it's Marco's signature morph.
Yeah,
It's
got King Kong up in here.
call me King, King Kong. Oh, Marco, you sweet child. Whew.
Yeah, I like Gorilla.
You like Gorilla?
I like Gorilla.
And yeah, this morph that you choose, we're not gonna ask how you got it. We're just going to like say at some point they will get this, and we will like use it.
Cool.
Because I want you guys to have fun. So it's cool to have like a cool animal.
Velociraptor.
You just happen to see.
Now, hold on. Now, cease for a moment. We're not into time travel yet.
Yet. So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh yeah, the Animorphs time traveled like 7 times in the like. They almost died each time, but you know.
They always die in every book. I feel like.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Ah, gummy worms.
Yummy.
Forgive me.
Yummy worms.
Oh.
Should we put that in notes?
Yeah, put it in notes. You could, what I should do is probably, like, update the character sheets so that you have, like aquatic morph, flyer morph, and, like, fill up the notes with each one so you know which one is your morph in the notes. Oh, sweet, fortune rolls. By the way, fortune rolls, they are basically just... They're basically just like, if I want to see, like, if you're allergic to a morph, maybe, like, I could roll a fortune dice. Or if I need to determine how in favor things are for you at the moment, I could roll a fortune dice. Like, there are different ways that... fortune dice is basically the last-ditch effort to, like, you know, see what a result could be or what might be in your way. It's very, very fluid. With your morphs, Abigator, Josh, do you want to, like, maybe sit on that for a while?
I am trying to think of what I want, and I think I might, because I don't know, I may or may not right now be looking at beast shapes for ideas from 5e.
Oh, I see.
Just,
Scorpion? I mean,
Ooh.
you got one shot.
The outsider.
that would be badass.
Tarantula.
I think I want to use a panther for my battle morph.
Oh my gosh!
That's a
Yes,
good one.
please do
That's
that.
Mm.
Jaguar.
And then
I'm so
maybe
proud.
Maybe a fox for the wild morph.
You could acquire a fox at some point, but if you want to go with your signature morph as a panther, I'm all for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you only get one free morph.
We get one.
Oh,
single.
The rest of them, you have to acquire.
gotcha. I thought it was like figure out these 4. And then, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, nope. Panther
Drafting a
again.
whole nother team.
Oh yeah.
But see,
More
I feel like
over.
it'd be easy to acquire a scorpion. I feel like I want my free one to be something that...
I mean,
There's
depending
not-
on where you are, sometimes.
Yeah.
Octopus.
Yes! You're gonna see an octopus just, like, fall on the ground.
Where do we store our morphs? Are they in our notes? Are they-
Yeah, go ahead and pop it into your
them
notes.
in the character sheet under notes.
Cool.
because we get to pick our crew next.
Yeah.
And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crews. You will get a special ability from them. And you will also get 2 hunting grounds. Hunting grounds in Blades in the Dark were basically like districts or like certain missions that you excelled in. But here in Blades in the Dark, they are like the same thing. They are sort of like missions that you and your group specialize in. So you will get like bonuses to your engagement role. And what an engagement role does is sets up what sort of state you're entering in when you begin your mission. So if you guys decide we're going to go to the zoo and acquire a dangerous animal DNA without getting caught or without the Yeerks becoming aware that we're doing this, that would be an acquisition. So your characters would roll an engagement roll. And where is that actually? Oh, it's on the crew mode, I think. Yeah, roll engagement. And once you do that, if it's depending on the result, it sets the position in effect for the rest of the game. Until eventually your failures or your successes or your special abilities increase or decrease that position in effect. So yeah, the engagement roll is like very important. So when you see your when you do look at the hunting grounds, just be aware that those are there for sort of like suggestions of what your group basically mains in. Like, once again, if you're a Mercy player. So right now there are the headhunters who, as it says, they are good at elimination and tracking scores. They excel in basically trying to attack the Viscers, Sub-Viscers, the leaders of various groups of Yeerks within town. If you find out that like the mayor is a controller, you would do a mission all about trying to get them and to get the Yeerk inside them. While you have the Truthers. The Truthers are good at exposing and disruption scores. And the Truthers essentially believe that, so while the Headhunters are like, cut the head off the snake, and the rest will die eventually, the Truthers believe that the ultimate, victory is alerting the planet of the Yeerk invasion. And that involves discrediting various Yeerk propaganda, or trying to get the word out on AOL, I guess. You also have the Xeno-Reliant. As you might think, there are a lot of alien presences in the Animorphs books. So with the Xeno-Reliant crew, you're good at rescue and contact missions. And the whole purpose of this is to sort of hone in on the idea that the Andalites can defeat the Yeerks. This wasn't a war between humanity and the Yeerks. This is a war between the Andalites and the Yeerks. We need the Andalites to come help. So a lot of your missions are about trying to get into position to contact the Andalites, to help the Andalites in various ways, and also to rescue and interact with other aliens that might be on Earth, like the Hork-Bajir that are the shock troops. You could have several missions where you free Hork-Bajir from Yeerk control, and then create sort of a new unit. While the Brutes The brutes are basically we're just gonna beat them up. We're just gonna roll over them, and their whole deal is essentially we're going to strong arm everything that the Yeerks do. We're gonna make this essentially open warfare. We're going to find out where they're hiding. We're going to continue to like wear them down over time. So like ambushes and assaults on their strongholds. That's what the brutes are really good at, is finding out where they are and then basically making the invasion impossible just because you're wrecking them so hard. And the other side of the coin is the Invisibles, where the whole idea behind the Invisible Crew is you have to protect yourselves, first of all. It is imperative that the Yeerks don't find out who you are. So your identity is the primary reason for taking this crew, is you want to protect your identity, but you also want to find ways to manipulate and trick the various Yeerk leaders and some maybe put in a little discontent into them while also sabotaging their various operations and sowing discord, really. Basically trying to get espionage and acquisition in the hunting grounds is how you're going to operate this war, because you can't... The Invisibles understand they probably can't beat them by numbers or by attrition, but they think they can at least buy time by keeping out of sight, but very, like, present in what the Yeerks are doing and how they can counter that. And the auxiliary crew is, on the other hand, if we can't beat them by numbers, then we need to get more numbers. The ultimate goal is to add more Animorphs to your group. Enough to be able to more readily counter everything that the Yeerks are doing. So the auxiliary crew is literally creating an army of people that you know you can trust and that can do certain things. So creating cohorts within Blades in the Dark, I'm still working on some of those. It's very basic right now in Morphs in the Dark, but convincing someone to join you and to follow your orders in this battle is a score in of itself. So that's Teenage Pubescent Army. Thank you, Abby. So those are the available crews at the moment. This is something you guys will decide. Drunkly is not here, but I do think the three of you can sort of give us an idea on which crew really speaks to you more than the others. You also get one special ability from the crew list that you choose. And you would also get the hunting grounds as well. So this is kind of an in-character thing. Like, what do you think your characters would find? This could be a conflict. Like, yeah, you guys might have different ideas on how you should be handling this Yeerk battle. And this is just the crew you start with. Crews can change over time. You can buy special abilities as you earn XP to get new hunting grounds and new abilities from that crew.
Well, I'm pretty sure that since Gavin has an idea of who the Yeerks are all around, Gavin's probably a truther. It's like, yo, you need to know they're fucking out here. Like, are you not seriously? They don't blink. What the hell? Why are you not blinking?
They don't blink. Yeerks controllers will win staring contests.
Yep.
Ugh.
It's
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, please refresh your eyes. Even if you're gonna take somebody over, at least respect their eyes. But no, Yeerks don't care.
Visine.
Yeerks don't care.
Yeerks give no fucks.
Nope.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you?
Well, I think Dark Dragon's Inn has it coded right on the chat, signaling what we want through our abilities. Brutes is fun, but I'm okay with Truthers because I was thinking about the concept of this character and like who were the big bands in the 90s. If you're a Battleborn, like you're probably into like some really aggressive music. And I had a big Rage Against the Machine phase, and like political activism and getting into this big alien war makes a lot of sense. Like the people need to wake up, one way or another.
I love that. Like, I want that to be like everybody's defining, like, this is why you guys are like together when you discover the Escafil device. Like, maybe you guys are at a concert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny, speaking of that, I was just watching the old Power Rangers TV show with the kids that I babysit from the 90s.
Oh, cute.
And the way that they act as like high schoolers, like, you guys help save the planet. We're killing. It was like at least from what I remember, because I was born in 93, so I'm really young, so I kind of caught the late 90s, early 2000s. But it was very much like, Captain Planet, and we're ruining our Earth, and we just have to
recycle.
Yeah.
If only enough people knew how important recycling was, we could save the planet.
Turn the lights off when you leave the room, and everything will be hunky dory.
Don't just throw trash on the streets. That's rude.
It really has nothing to do with the corporations and what they're doing. It's just my inability to turn a light switch before I leave the room.
Right. Personal responsibility. Forget the corporations.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're sold on the Truthers as well?
I like the Truthers. I also kind of like the Xeno-Reliant. I feel like the idea that, why are these aliens here in the first place? You don't want anything from here. Just go somewhere else. What? Andalites, this is your problem. Go, take care of them. We don't want them here. Just go.
Fantastic.
That would probably be a more Abby response, though. So,
because you just want big hunky aliens, I guess.
Yeah, big hunky aliens would be a plus.
Big knife blade Hork-Bajir that are just like covered in like points.
It would be a very interesting character trait.
It would. So when you play Truthers, you can choose one of 5 special abilities. The first one is a +1 to survey, consort, or sway. That is your choice if you'd like to use that. Stuck together is the second one, and when you use a group action, you can count multiple 6s from different rolls as a critical success. So basically, like, a group action is everybody rolls, and in this instance, if more than one person gets a 6, you guys would be able to count that as a critical success. I didn't name this one, I think. Oh gosh, did I not finish that particular special ability?
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3. 3 and 4 do not have names, but that's okay.
They will.
They might.
Know people who
at
know
some
stuff.
Point.
The truth is out there, people.
But acutely aware is during downtime you get 2 ticks to distribute for long-term project clocks when gathering information. And again, you can kind of use project clocks to your own advantage. You could declare, I want to find out who the Visser is when they are not in, trying to kill us. So yeah, finding out who the Visser controller is probably an 8-tick clock. And so during downtime, you guys would work towards figuring out that particular special instance, and you get extra ticks because of it. So these other 2, I don't think I have them done yet. So I think I'm missing 2 other special abilities for the Invisibles, which again, this is a beta, so please have mercy on me.
No, I refuse.
No.
Please!
So do we get all of these?
I think we can get an XP trigger as one of them.
Okay.
You get an extra XP trigger if you are not caught on a score. If you are able to get in and out without anybody catching you. I think that can be... You get one of these, yeah, one special ability. And this is decided by all of you, essentially. And I'll go ahead and make a special crew sheet for you.
Info network seems pretty useful.
Yeah, I really want to develop that one. Because like having an online network of people that are looking for York evidence sounds like really great. It sounds like something that would somehow benefit Consort, because Consort is all about like sort of gathering shenanigans on various peeps and access to like information. So maybe we can homebrew this really quick. Do you guys want to have like some sort of special like website?
Conspiracy theory,
yeah,
net or whatever.
Yeah, and that could maybe give you like... It could maybe give you extra dice on rolling to gather information, possibly.
Yeah.
Because and again, unfortunately, this is me not realizing I didn't have this particular instance done. But, oh my god, I know what it could be. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? There's a part in Morphs in the Dark where it is literally the GM playing the Viscer and Sub-Viscer. You're not the only one who has downtime actions. The Yerks also get their own turns.
Boo.
And when they do this, they can increase the tier of certain turfs. And the turf of your city is kind of very vague. Like, you have, like, law enforcement, public health, like, you know, hospitals, like, community, like, centers, the schools, all that stuff. The Yerks can spend priority actions to essentially basically take over the town. They can spend their time helping infect a certain turf. They can spend their time reinforcing Hork-Bajir shock troopers. They can basically just terrify the other Yerks into following their orders. And what I would like to do for this online community is you get the ability to find out what priority actions were taken during downtime by the Yerks. What do you guys think about that?
Alright.
That sounds good, because I don't like this whole Yerks taking over the town.
Oh.
It's the enemy turn in your strategy games in the fog of war.
Yes. And that sounds like what the Invisibles should be all about. Okay, so...
Wait. Are we the Invisibles, or are we the Truthers?
I thought we were the truthers.
Oh my god, you're the Truthers, my bad. I've been
Yeah.
reading the wrong thing. Okay. But yeah, I'm totally up for this online network special ability.
I like the online network. I also like the if we have proof of York activity, it can't be refuted by a simple conjecture, so you get extra dice to sway. I feel like, especially, I remember reading the books, and as a kid reading the books, it was so, why don't you just listen to the kids, adults? Why aren't you...
Adults will never understand.
Parents just don't understand. Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff told us that.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, up to you guys if you want to go with the Yerk Forum or any of the other abilities that are available. During downtime...
Just let me know what y'all think.
Yeah, I think it would be Consort.
Flexible.
not like literally flexible, but I'm flexible with my ideas for this specific.
Just contort yourself into a small box.
I think it depends if we're truthers. Do we want to be trying to gather information more, or do we want to try to be exposing that there's aliens more?
Exposition seems good. Seems really dangerous, but it seems good.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Like exposition and also like disruption by proxy.
I like that because then the Yerks really have to lay low to like, oh crap.
Right. They can't raid a certain area if people
Right.
know that something suspicious is going on.
Like, they have to keep stopping their plans or retreating from various actions because it'll bring too much attention to them because of your efforts.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of maneuvering from the looks of it. But yeah, do you guys think the Yerk Forum would work for that? Or is there...
Sorry.
Or do you want that plus 1D to consort? Because I can totally do that too. Or to sway, I mean.
It'd be sway.
One's more like directly useful. The other one's sort of like a
Yeah.
information gathering, like
Yeah.
post downtime thing.
Yeah. See, now that I'm thinking about it, how much would getting as many people to know about like this alien invasion? It's the whole thing of we don't want to. Would it be worth it, or would it just create more chaos and more?
Well, that's the struggle of the truthers, essentially,
Right.
is to stop the controlled media, get the truth out there, and hope that the rest of the world can react accordingly.
All this fake news going around, the Yerks.
That was the part where, like, I was like, oh, do I really want to be the truthers? Like, I know I'm taking a 2019 mindset and putting it into the late 90s, but...
I think the 90s had some of this too. You had
The 90s had definitely had desert radio.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You could just take the sway.
You could just take the sway, yeah.
Just take this away, I
Okay.
guess.
So when you have proof...
Dodge the bullet.
Yeah. When you have proof... What should I call this? What is a funny name?
It's right there in black and white.
The Pentagon paper. No. The Manning effect. For Chelsea Manning. I don't know. All right. So that's gonna be. Oh man.
Nuclear reports.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
No, I love this because it means you guys have to get proof. Like, it's very, like, directional. Like, it sets you guys on a explicit path.
Just stock up on those little instant cameras, or the little disposable ones from CVS.
Yeah, and those can't be, like, photoshopped. Alright, you guys have exposing and disruption as your hunting grounds. So, let me go ahead. So, exposing, the result of this mission is to reveal or broadcast a Yerk secret or corruption. And disruption is the result of this engagement will destroy the intended maneuver or gathering or operation of Yerks. So yeah, I like this. This will be a delightful time. And that's it. That's essentially character creation. And a introduction to all the things that Morphs in the Dark will entail. And we just need to know your characters' names. Not their full name, because we can't tell you who you are, who we are, or where we live, because the Yerks will know.
They will.
Yeah. Or we could wait until next time, and
I'm really bad at coming up with names.
by that time we'll have Drunkly here, who will have the most complicated name among all. Oh god. Because I really hope Drunkly takes Andalite, because that's gonna be a show.
We're just gonna call him Hatch. Every Andalite has to have a shortened name of what could be potentially a melee weapon.
Yeah.
So it's like, nope, we would have Hatchet, but now you're just Hatch.
Yeah.
Shiv.
Yeah, she like. Because you gotta cut it. Because axe, and it's just AX. They cut the E off, but it's silent. So we just didn't know that was part of the rule set.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Pokey the Andalite. Jab, take that. Oh man, this is gonna be great. So next week we'll be dropping into our game. Man, I'm looking forward to it. How was character creation for you guys? Do you have any further comments before we go around and say farewell and whatnot?
Pretty straightforward. I am very excited. There's a lot of very flavorful abilities that I can't wait to work towards and pick up, and see how all of our abilities work as a team all together. Like what kind of fastball special and other superhero moves we can come up with all of our abilities.
As a gorilla, Abby, you should have been a scorpion, because as a gorilla he could have throw you at someone to stab.
Oh no, I was thinking about it. I'm gonna be an emperor scorpion.
Oh!
So they're big. They're like 7.5 inches.
Oh, I'm looking that up. Oh, that's gonna be a bad.
Horrifying.
Oh, this is a bad morph, Abby. This is a bad morph.
No, it's not.
Oh my, ew, I can't. Okay. Man, I cannot wait to get into my morph descriptions.
Oh no.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna channel Applegate.
It's like amazing. A poisonous land lobster.
Oh man, dude! Remember when Marco morphed a lobster? It was horrifying.
Good old aquatic bugs.
Why don't we go ahead and go around and give our farewells and where we can find each other? Josh, would you like to go first?
Cool. Well, thanks for the opportunity. It's fun to create character. My name's Josh. You can find me on the interwebs. On Twitter, you can find my personal stuff at Wallstormer, WALLSTOR, M as in Mary, ER. You can also find my game content over at Intelligame. It's a game culture criticism site. You can find that at intelligame.us. That's the website is intelligame.us. It's like intelligent, but with game at the end. And you can also find it on Twitter or any other social media at IntelligameUs.
Tremendous. Abby.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I thank you for including me in this. I'm super pumped. And I don't have any cool organizations, but I am across the interwebs. You can find me on Twitter, where I post about the different games that I'm in, and also about the children that I watch. I'm giving thanks for being part of more. That's what I am doing. Giving thanks. You can also find me on the Greyhawk channel on Mondays and Tuesdays around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also on Scraticus's channel playing D&D 5e at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a lot. Just go on my Twitter, you guys. It's Applicator Frenzy. It's the same in chat. Whatever.
Tremendous.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, thank you.
Simon.
Okay. Yes, my name is Simon, and I don't really do a lot of streamed games yet. I'm hoping to change that do more of them. You can find me on ye olde Twitter at Lucha Libris. That's LuchaLibris. If you are in the greater Boston area and you're interested in coming to play my LARP, you can learn more at attawaylarp.com and come up and dress up in 1920s attire and be gay and do crimes.
Yeah, I heard Prohibition. I was like, oh, my favorite part.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite history. Man, this is going to be great. And, man, I am 4. It is me. I am the 4 here on the forefront. I don't do a whole lot because I have a full-time job where I take care of horses. I am a horse groom, and my Twitter mainly has horse shenanigans on it, and me talking about... Today I was thinking about Rango a lot. I really miss and love that movie. But I'm hoping to take Morphs in the Dark fully into... I want to do so much with it, and I want to expand what I have on it so far. You can find me on various other places, though. I do participate in the not the Legion of Joff, the Liberation of Joff on Welcome to the Party RPG on Mondays at around 8:30 EST in the evening. I'll also be playing on Scraticus, that channel, in the Wild West. They're playing Weird Wild West in the 5th edition of D&D, and I'm going to be playing a super cool character that I don't want to tell you about because I'd rather you come there and find out. And gosh darn, I want to do more. I always want to do more, and I always want to contribute, and I will, and I hope you'll be there to see the various things that we are doing on the forefront. It is past time that we say goodbye. Drunkenly Romantic, no doubt, will be an avid individual to come play with us. We're going to give thanks to our audience. Thank you for coming out to see the character creation. Thank you for being interested in this Animorphs shenanigans, because I think it's going to be a tremendous campaign. I feel like. I think that's it. Once again, my thanks to everyone for stopping by. I'm looking forward to playing with each of you. Truly. I miss Josh, and it was great to see Abby again, and Simon, I am so pumped to see what your character will be bringing to this tremendous game of ours. Alright, everyone. We'll see you later. On the forefront, I have an outro.